Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of the Gentleman's Club. I am your host, Mark Antomati, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my bar as it stands at the end of the year 2017. If you don't know what my bar is, this is a video series that is done annually by whiskey.com on YouTube, and its host, Mr. Horst Looning, and his son Benedict Looning, that co-hosts with him occasionally. So every year he would do one video showcasing all the whiskeys that he has inside of his possession in his household. So I thought, just based on the influence of that, I wanted to do something very similar to him. Obviously, you could tell my channel, or at least the whiskey portion of this channel, is inspired very much by his. So I'm going to start at one end, and I'm going to work my way all the way down to the other end. And I'll briefly talk about these whiskeys if I have something special to say about them. So the first whiskey that I have here, this one is from the Four Roses brand. This is American bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And I bought this one at around the time that I started going through my Kirin whiskey craze. And if you don't know how this is associated, what does this have to do with Kirin, is that Kirin had bought out Four Roses. I believe it was maybe about 2 years ago. But anyways, this is now a Kirin company. And at the time that I was trying all of those, I thought I would try my hand at this one. This is actually the cheapest bourbon whiskey from Four Roses. They have higher quality ones than this, but this is the most basic offering. And there's actually another one called the Black Label that looks exactly like this that I'm dying to try because it's only available here in Japan. But this one, even though it's not written, we sometimes call this the Yellow Label. Next up, this is the Fuji Sanroku Signature Blend. This one cost me about $50 for this bottle. And as I stated inside of my review for it, it's only available here in Japan from the distillery or from the distillery's website. I believe you can order it. $50. It was not that good to me. For the price, I'm highly disappointed with the taste because I don't think it matches that well with the price point. And I can understand why this is a limited edition, because I think produced on a mass scale, I don't think that many people would continually buy this. But as a limited release, you know, just based on your curiosity, you're going to want to buy just to see what it's all about. But I bought this based on the strength of the regular offering. And that regular offering is here. This is the No Age Statement Fuji Sanroku Non-Chilled Filtered. And I absolutely adore this whiskey, which is why I bought that one. But this one is only 1/3 the price of what you can... This one is 1/3 of the price of what the signature blend cost, but 3 times the taste. So this is definitely the best bang per buck whiskey that you could possibly get, according to my channel as it stands now. This is not my number one whiskey of 2017. I would place this within my top 5. This could possibly be number 2, maybe number 3. There are some more whiskeys that are better than this, and I'll talk about those. But for the best bang per buck, this is definitely the one to get and the one to beat. For the price value, it is unbeatable by anything else up here. Also purchased from Kirin are these two right here. This is the limited, they're both limited, 2017 Distiller Select. The one that would be on your left is the single malt whiskey, and the one that would be on your right is the single grain whiskey. I was highly disappointed overall with both of these, but one stood out a little bit more for me than the other one. This grain whiskey, at least this one had a nice smell to it and a little bit of a decent aftertaste. The malt whiskey was all around disappointing for me. Again, these could only be purchased from the Kirin Fujigotemba distillery in eastern Shizuoka. But there goes those. We'll start in the front here and then go to the back. This is the White Oak Akashi. This one is very cheap. I don't think I paid no more than $10 for this. This is 40% ABV. And an accompanying one, this is Akashi Red. This is also 40% ABV. And I think I also paid no more than $10 for this. These two are very cheap, but the value, what you get from it, this is very much like this Fuji Sanroku. For the price you pay and the value you get, very, very good. This one, also an Akashi, is a little bit of a step up from these two. The price is also a step up as well. This is the White Oak Single Malt Whiskey Akashi. I paid 2,900 Japanese yen for this, which is about 25 US dollars. This one is the strongest of the three. This is 46% ABV. These are all nice because I think they're all non-colored, or at least I know this one is because it's listed on the bottle. About these other two, I'm not sure, but I think they're also non-colored. And this is also non-chilled filtered. See if I can find that out. You just have to take my word for it. I believe that's the case. Next, this is what started it all, this whole back row. This is my Suntory collection, and I started with the Hibiki, and I just started moving my way on up from there. So this is the very first one that I bought, and this is a very good impression that this left on me. This is the No Age Statement Japanese Harmony Hibiki. And at the time that I had bought this, this was my absolute favorite. Even when I came around to buy this Fuji Sanroku, I still thought inside of my mind that this is my absolute best. But then something happened. I went to a local bar of mine, and which I don't have here, but I went to this local bar called Memphis, which is a 7-minute walk away from home. And I tried the Hibiki 12 years, and I thought it was a step up from this one. Although not a dramatic step up, it was still a step up in taste, but also, of course, in price as well. And I'm going to say, as it stands now, that is my number one whiskey. Unfortunately, I don't think I've conducted a review on it, and if I have, I had lost that video somewhere inside of my hard drive. I'm going to have to go fishing around for that. If not, it means I need to do another review on that again. But that was a in-bar review that I had done on that whiskey. Try searching my channel for that. It might be up. Next one up, this is something very special. This is the Hibiki 17 years old. I bought this one just 5 days ago on Christmas Day. I was there as the guy was unloading this onto the counters and even putting up the labeling, the pricing on the counters next to this. And when he put this up, I immediately snagged it. I bought this along with something else, but I'll get to that. And there was about 10 of these bottles that they had out, but I was the first one to grab at least one. As you can see, it's still unopened. I won't get around to reviewing this one until 2018 comes along. This is also in my top 5. This is the Yamazaki Single Malt Whiskey, No Age Statement. All I could remember about this one, something inside of my mind, when I fell asleep that night, the taste just remained with me throughout the night, even though I had tried this right before dinner time. And something just about the way it smells and that aftertaste just stayed with me long after I had tried this. Now it's an afterthought because I had tried so many whiskeys since trying this one, but something about chocolate remains inside of my mind. I try not to open up my whiskeys too much, but yeah, you can even smell it. I just had to open it just now just to give it a little bit of a sniff. Next one up, this is Yamazaki, aged 12 years. And wow, this one is double the price of the no age statement. And quite disappointed, to be honest with you. I was expecting more, since I'm paying more, obviously. But don't let that always be the general rule that more expensive or older is going to be better tasting. For the most part, I believe that might hold true, but overall, just understand that that's not always the case. And as with this one, the 12 years, I mean, it's a passable whiskey. If you can get it for cheap, or if you can just try it inside of a bar, at least one tasting, I would say go ahead and do so. But to go out of your way to purchase a whole bottle, I think it's highly overrated. And I will never buy it again. I'll finish this bottle off, and I'll gladly finish it off, but revisit it after this, I really don't think so. This is the other purchase that I had made on Christmas Day. This is the Yamazaki single malt whiskey, aged 18 years. And this one is still unopened and untried. But I'm highly looking forward to this because a lot of people would definitely say that this is a step up above the 12. And I'm hoping that it's going to be a step up above the no age statement. I absolutely love the no age statement. If this can compare to this, and just even if it's a minor step, I would appreciate it. But for the price that I paid for this should honestly be twice, 3 times the value in taste comparison to what this is. Now, I bought both of these on Christmas Day, the 17-year-old Hibiki and the 18-year-old Yamazaki single malt whiskey. And the pair of these together was about $400 I paid for these. Won't get around to reviewing them this year, but definitely next year. This is right up there for my first tastings of 2018 at some point in January. Next one up, this is the Hakushu single malt whiskey. Although this is not as good as any of the Yamazakis or the blended Hibikis. This was passable, but it was still missing something. The thing I remember about this one is that it was very fruity. It had some nice floral notes and not citrusy. It was either like apples and pears, the taste of this one, I believe. You just kind of looking at the bottle and that nice glow, you could see the sunlight coming in and gleaming off this bottle. You kind of get this thought of oranges and grapes and pears just by looking at it. But it was fruity and it was nice. Maybe I would revisit that again in the future, but I still have a majority of the bottle left, so I might as well finish this off before I consider even purchasing another one. You know what? If I purchase another one, it's going to be an aged version of this. And last up, to round out the Fantastic Four, is this one, the Cheetah, which is only available here in Japan, and also I believe it's available in East Asia, but it has not at this time found its way to the United States or to the EU or the rest of the world. Compared to these other three, this one does not stand a chance. I believe some of these were made when the original master blender was still around. What do I want to say? The original master blender of Suntory had made these, or it might have been the guy, we won't speak of him, who was part of Suntory when it was founded, and then he had left to form his own company. But this one was not made by any of those guys. This was founded, yes, it says on the bottle in 1972, and this was by the second in command master blender, I believe it was, or the current now master blender. This is his own original whiskey since Suntory losing their, I guess, their founder or their first master blender. This one is it doesn't hold up or hold a candle to these other three, so to speak. Of course, you want to try it out of curiosity. Now that I smell it, maybe just because I've been holding it for so long, things have changed about it, but it has actually a quite nice smell to it. I'll have to give this one a go again, but when I first opened it on the day of buying it and giving it a try, I was not that pleased with it. I don't think it was disappointing. No, I don't think I'm not getting the words out that I want to say. I wasn't unsatisfied with it, like as in to say it was bad, but it wasn't good by any means as well. This is one that I just skipped over completely as I went through these. This is the first Scotch whiskey that I had purchased but still have not reviewed. This is the Macallan Highland Malt Scotch whiskey, 12 years old, double cask. And this one even comes with a tumbler glass. I got so many whiskeys that I have to go through that I still had not tried yet, which is why I haven't opened this one up, but definitely in the new year. All right, next up is these 3 Kavalan's from Yilan, Taiwan. This is from the brand Kavalan. This whiskey brand receives very high marks from whiskey connoisseurs on the internet, and they love it very much. But this stuff is also very expensive, which is why I bought these miniatures. Each one of these 3 are only 50 milliliter bottles each. And this one has some notes on the back about the color, nose, and palate, but I'll read those when I conduct the review. I don't want to waste your time with that now. This is the single malt whiskey, and this is 40%. The next one up, this is almost the same thing, also a single malt whiskey, but this is the port cask finish, also 40%. And the next one is 46%. This is the single malt whiskey ex bourbon oak. So I'm looking forward to trying these. This is something that I just picked up that I seen lying around inside of my local shop where I purchase a majority of my alcohol. This one is called Misago Blended Whiskey, matured in oak barrel. The reason that I picked this up is that it was a rarity. It's not something that I usually see inside of the whiskey section of the place that I frequent. And I just wondered, what is this? And the price was very cheap. So I thought, why not just pick this up and give it a go? It could either be good or bad, but either way, for $10, I won't be disappointed at all. But Misago, maybe from a very small distillery. And finally, I got 3 Johnny Walkers, and I thought I would start off at the bottom and I would work my way up to the most expensive one that they have. And of course, the cheapest one that they offer is the red label. A lot of people tend to think that this is crap. I haven't tried it yet, but just based off of their reviews, I think I might find it to be the same for me. Yeah, nothing special, so I just bought a 200 milliliter offering. I think this is enough just to get a nice sampling of what this is all about, but not too much where I'm just gonna buy a bottle and then try it once and then just throw away the rest. Next step up from that is the Black Label aged 12 years, and the one that I don't have that comes after this would be the Double Black, but I would try that next after the Black Label. Another rarity that I bought inside of the month of December, before, not on Christmas Day, but before I bought the Yamazaki and the Hibiki 12 and 18. This is right around the time that I bought this Misago, actually. I found this rarity, this Johnny Walker's Blender's Batch Triple Grain American Oak blended Scotch whiskey, aged 10 years. Now that's a mouthful. I don't know what this is. I've never seen this before. It was very cheap. This was maybe about 15 US dollars, maybe about 2,000 Japanese yen. I said, what could this possibly be? Let me just go ahead and pick this up just to see what it is. So I would put this right around the bottom level of Johnny Walker. It's just so much written here. On the back, there's even more written. It says, Experimental Blend number 3. Experimental blend, who even knows what that means? It means it's probably not going to be that good. And it's either you're going to love it or hate it, or they're just trying to cash in on something new and you try it once and you throw away the rest. But they figure they can get you with this branding of offering up something new at least once, just to say, I got you. And then after that, you're never going to revisit this again. But still looking forward to trying it nonetheless. So all in all, I have about 10 whiskeys that I have not opened, and I will be opening them and trying them within the year 2018. Hopefully in January, I can get around to at least the very anticipated ones that I know everybody's looking forward to. Anyways, this is my bar for the year 2017, the end of the year. I would like to thank you once again for watching and sticking around with me in this channel for this long. If you haven't, make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to doing more reviews for you in the future. And until then, make sure you drink responsibly. Salute to you, gentlemen. And until next time, keep it classy.